It used to have belongings. Everything burned down.
It seems like U.S. aid for Ukraine is still continuing. The U.S. military transferred around 90 Patriot air defense interceptors from storage in Israel to Poland this week in order to deliver them to Ukraine. 3 sources with knowledge of the operation tell Axios. Getting more Patriot missiles to Ukraine has been a top priority for the Pentagon to help Kyiv defend against Russia's attacks on its critical infrastructure. This is also the most significant delivery of weapons from Israel to Ukraine since the Russian invasion almost 3 years ago. Last April, the Israeli Air Force officially decommissioned the Patriot air defense system, more than 30 years after it was first given to Israel during the First Gulf War. The system became less relevant as Israel developed its own air defense systems, and most Patriot batteries were used for training or left in storage. The sources tell Axios that after the IDF announced the decommissioning, Ukrainian officials approached the U.S. and Israel with an idea. Israel would give those missiles back to the U.S. to be refurbished and sent on to Ukraine. For several months, Israel dragged its feet out of concern Russia would retaliate, perhaps by supplying sophisticated weapons to Iran. A Ukrainian official tells Axios Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu refused to take his calls on that issue for weeks. But in late September, Netanyahu finally approved the idea, an Israeli official says. The time, Netanyahu wanted to speak with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in order to get his approval for ultra-Orthodox Israelis to make an annual pilgrimage to the city of Uman in Ukraine, where a famous rabbi is buried. Zelensky wouldn't take his call until Netanyahu approved the Patriot deal, the Ukrainian official says. A spokesperson for Netanyahu told Axios the prime minister didn't object to the decommissioning of the Patriot system and its return to the U.S. and denied any connection between this and the pilgrimage. The official said Israel told Russia it was a similar move to the one the U.S. made 2 years ago when it transferred artillery shells from emergency storage in Israel to Ukraine. We had a room next door with our property. Everything was burned to the ground. The occupier inspects his place of deployment after a strike.
We enter, I set up a backup generator so we can at least see the smoke where we are going. Here we have a neighboring room with belongings. It's completely impossible to breathe. It used to have belongings. Everything burned down. Now the fire has at least calmed down a bit. And here the heat, damn, it's burning. That's what is left from the generator, damn, here. From the rest of the belongings, damn. Everything burned, damn. Well, that's how it is, damn.
Fresh footage from the 47th Brigade. Russian trucks, BMPs, and infantry going up in flames. The Boza Sprava drone pilots spotted a Russian convoy, and the 1st Battalion struck hard with FPV drones and airdropped munitions. Watch how they clear the battlefield. As of January 2025, Ukraine's 47th Mechanized Brigade has been actively engaged in significant military operations, particularly in Kursk Oblast. On January 9th, the brigade reported repelling a substantial Russian assault involving approximately 50 vehicles, including tanks and armored personnel carriers. The engagement resulted in the destruction of numerous Russian vehicles and significant enemy casualties. In late October 2024, the 47th Brigade conducted successful offensives in Kursk Oblast, capturing new Russian positions near the village of Obukivka. This operation utilized American-supplied M1A1 Abrams tanks and M2A1 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, effectively coordinating with artillery support and reconnaissance drones. In the Kursk region, Special Operations Forces soldiers eliminated North Korean troops and captured enemy documents. During the battle, SOF operators neutralized 2 North Korean soldiers. Additionally, drone strikes destroyed 7 occupiers, with another 10 wounded. Operators from the 8th SOF Regiment also discovered and captured enemy positions, including military gear, a thermal imaging scope, a rifle, and documents. The Russian prosecutor's office has caught and will prosecute a good man and his colleagues from the Kursk Development Corporation. who stole 3.2 billion rubles allocated for the construction of defensive lines in the Kursk region. Let's hope he hid the money well. Trade for March-loading Russian oil in top buyer Asia has stalled as a wide price gap between buyers and sellers emerged in China after costs for chartering tankers unaffected by U.S. sanctions jumped, according to traders and shipping data. Washington imposed fresh sanctions on January, 10 targeting Russia's oil supply chain, causing tanker freight rates to soar as some buyers and ports in China and India steered clear of sanctioned ships. Offers for March Russian ESPO blend, crude exported from the Pacific port of Kozmino, jumped to premiums of $3 to $5 a barrel to ICE Brent on a delivered ex-ship basis to China after freight rates for an Aframax tanker on the route surged by several $1 million, 3 traders familiar with the grade said. Prior to the January sanctions, robust winter demand and firming prices for rival grades from Iran sent spot premiums for ESPO blend crude to China rising to close to $2 a barrel, the highest since the start of the Ukraine war in 2022, the aftermath of which had sent discounts to as deep as $6. In India, Bharat Petroleum Corp, Open's new tab finance chief told Reuters last week that it has not received any new offers for March delivery, as it would ordinarily have, and expects the number of cargoes offered for March to drop from January and December. India typically receives offers for Russian crude during the middle of each month. Russian crude accounted for 36% of India's and nearly a fifth of China's 2024 imports. The latest sanctions target tankers that carry about 42% of Russia's seaborne oil exports, primarily to China, according to analytics firm Kepler, although sanctioned tankers are gradually discharging oil in China and India during a waiver period. The U.S. clarified to India that tankers loaded with Russian oil must discharge by February 27 under the sanctions, India's oil secretary Pankaj Jain told reporters on Friday. Payments for oil on board affected ships must be cleared by March 12th, he added. The Italian Ministry of Defense plans to purchase more than 1,400 armored vehicles from the German company Rheinmetall. At the International Armored Vehicles 2025 conference in Farnborough, new details emerged about Italy's ambitious plans to modernize its armored forces. The updated plans should strengthen Italy's land component by increasing the tank order to 380 units instead of 138. These tanks will undergo significant modifications to meet Italian operational requirements in a process referred to as Italianization.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.